telling my 35F girlfriend, 45 female, she's not moving in with me if she invited her sister, 32 female, to live with her. How do I tell her my reasoning? I have a serious girlfriend of over 2 years, and we have been chatting about her moving in with me for a few months. She wants to scale back on her working hours and pay off her medical student debt, and would rent her current home. Her younger sister recently left her incredibly toxic, abusive husband. They live across the country, and the ex has made enough threats to her life, she has a restraining order. My girlfriend is going to offer to fly her sister here and to live with her. How do I make it clear if that happens then we will not be moving in together, and that I do not want the sister in my house? The reasoning: I have a 4-year-old, and I do not feel safe with the dangerous ex knowing my address. I do not want her sister in my house until we are all sure the ex won't fly over here and do something horrific. Yes, he is the type. He's a total loser, and the sister is the best thing that ever happened to him. He can't even hold a job, and his life is crumbling without her. Even my girlfriend agrees he's dangerous and would absolutely harm her if he got the chance. I have to protect my kid first. This puts a big wrench in our plans. My girlfriend spoke about her sister eventually renting the house from her once she finds a job. Obviously, that's not my business, but if my girlfriend is living with me, I assume the sister will be in our house often, as that would be her only support person. This makes me so uneasy. And before anyone at me for not being supportive of the sister, I want her to be safe as well. But not at my kid's expense. I have deep trauma from being raised seeing violent domestic violence, and it's a huge fear and trigger of mine. You're making the correct choice. Your only job in this life is to protect your child. Your girlfriend will probably be hurt and upset, but too bad. You say exactly what is written here. My kid comes first. I cannot house your sister while she has this drama going on. You tell her now as soon as possible that your offer for her to move in was just for her. The more time you give to figure out a plan B, the better. My fiancée, 33F, just ran away and left me 3 months before our wedding. How can I, 36M, feel better about this? With nearly 11 years together, we recently moved from the UK to the Netherlands in 2024. Everything seemed really good with us, and we talked a lot about how happy we both were and excited for the wedding in April. She left last week for an apparent week-long trip to see her sister in the UK. She told me less than 24 hours in advance before leaving. So I just assumed she was concerned about her and wanted some time alone to care for her. Her sister has long COVID. 2 days after that, she called for about a minute to break things off after an apparently tough therapy session. That session highlighted some issues she had with the relationship. Even though things have seemed amazing for a while, I have to respect her decision. She just said she needs to prioritize herself, etc. She's since blocked me on everything and won't seem to talk to anyone, including her friends who are coming to me for info. She's currently with her parents. I basically have zero closure and have so many questions. I didn't even get the chance to say goodbye after all this time either. Considering how serious things were and how much love we had for each other, this just feels incredibly cruel to handle things in this way without any conversation about it or anything. It's been well over a week since all of this, and all I can do is lie in a dark room staring at the ceiling. I've hardly slept all week, keep having nightmares and panic attacks. I can't eat. Even if I try to, I just feel sick, and I've lost over 10 kilograms in a week. She has her family to support her, but I'm mostly alone. Some people flew over to see me, but when they're gone I just go back to horrible thoughts and not eating. Is there anything I can do to feel better about any of this? I'm getting really worried that I can't eat and feel very sick. I really need to start to feel better soon or risk doing serious damage to myself. It appears she never wants to speak again, and I just can't cope with the thought of that. I'd wished we talked it through at least, got closure, etc., and even stayed friends. I love her so much and can't imagine her not in my life at all, especially as things seemed so good for so long. Please help me, sad face. Edit. For clarity, she apparently arranged this trip and her therapy session a while before she told me. I can't confirm a therapy session even took place. I'm just telling you what she told me before hanging up. Better than her running away 3 months after the wedding and spending all that dough. Everything seemed really good with us, and we talked a lot about how happy we both were and excited for the wedding in April. Morgan Freeman voice, she was not, in fact, excited for the wedding. I am so sorry. I don't know why such cowards meet good people. Going through same, not wedding but very bad and abrupt breakup. Things will get better. Counseling helped me a lot. You can try that. Talking about it helps release the pain. Chlamydia returned 1 year later. Both faithful. How can I show her I'm not lying? 38 male, 45 female. Last year me, 38M, and wife, 45F, were trying IVF. The clinic found wife had chlamydia. Despite being faithful, I think she has some asymptomatic from a previous relationship, as I was tested before we got together and was negative/been only with her. I'm certain she has also been faithful. We both took the medicine and she got cleared. Unfortunately, I didn't go to get the test. This is the biggest mistake. After many fights, she relented and we moved on. Last week she suddenly got violently ill. Shakes, high fever, severe abdominal pain. She finally agreed to go to a hospital. They're saying it's probably chlamydia and they're keeping her for a week. Doctor said it's most likely mine didn't clear and she was reinfected. She's adamant that I cheated though. Won't answer phone calls and all texts are just vitriol and divorce talks. I love this woman with all my heart and I know she loves me. It hurts that she's thinking I could do this. How do I show her I'm not lying? Edit. I should add that she's very certain that she didn't give it to me initially either. Despite the test before we got together, she really doesn't think it started with her. This doesn't add up. She gave you chlamydia and is now accusing you of cheating. I would have some serious questions for her. This definitely sounds like she's projecting. Does she work with birds? I had 2 co-workers who went to the hospital, tested positive for chlamydia, but it was because they got psittacosis from the birds at our work. BTW. Fuck Petco. Why didn't you get the test to ensure it was cleared? My girlfriend expects me to pay for her maintenance. 22M 24F. Where do we go from here? Me and my girlfriend have very different opinions on roles and responsibilities in the relationship. She is more traditional, as she wants a provider. She expects me to pay for her hair, nails, spa day occasionally, and giving her money spontaneously. We have an amazing relationship, but this is something that we don't see eye to eye on. I am not used to this at all, but this is my first serious relationship. These expenses add up to around $400 to $500 a month. I'm a junior in college and only have time to work 1 day a week. I pay for my own food and gas, and would like to occasionally go out with friends. I also take her on weekly dates and do the normal boyfriend duties, flowers, candy, lunches, pretty typical stuff. Suffice to say I'm essentially spending all of my money, and I'm stretched very thin financially. I worked for 2 years before attending college, hence why I am 22 and only a junior, so I have a large amount of savings, but would prefer to save that for after college. I feel like these expectations are unreasonable, and this is not my role or responsibility to pay for her maintenance. She believes it is, and that's where we're fundamentally different. I try and understand and do what I'm able to, but it never seems to be enough. I'm just not able to afford this, and it does not seem to be much compromise on her side. This is giving us problems, and I really don't want this to be something that blows our relationship up, but roles and responsibilities in the relationship is our #1 problem, and this is just one of those issues. Talking to her so far has not worked, as she understands, but the expectations do not change. I really want to be with her. Yes, I know it's my first love, but this is different, and she really makes me happy. You should be smart enough to run from this idiocy. That's not a girlfriend, that's a sugar baby who expects you to fund her lifestyle. Call it off before you go broke. You can't afford her lush lifestyle. Run. She needs/wants a sugar daddy. You are not compatible. She is your first love, and lessons have been learned. Now it's time to say goodbye.